All right, we are live. How's it going, everyone? I am ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
And together we are the two Irish brothers back with another live show. But before we go any further, let's wait till we have some people show up here. Obviously, we know Dwayne's here already. Welcome, Dwayne. Hope you like your moderator status. But I think in total we have 5 people that are moderators.
Really interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think there might be a couple that I was forgetting, but I couldn't find their pages because you had to have a link to their page to
I see. I gotcha. Blue is cool.
What's blue?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I like blue too. What do we got here?
I mean, clearly we like blue. We like navy blue here.
Right.
Yeah. So Green Bay is trying to even the game up.
Yeah, they're inside the 20.
But
Dwayne, I'm doing all right. Bob, how's it going? I was actually Dwayne, I was actually at a casino last night watching the UFC card with my friends that were back in town. And no, Ben, I did not have anything to drink. You thought I'd be smashed this afternoon, didn't you?
When in Rome.
Not for this old boy.
Yeah, it's been a pretty lazy weekend on my end. Not much to complain about. We had finally some decent enough weather where I could get on the roof and get the Christmas lights off. So that.
Oh,
and it's way easier taking them down than putting them up. It took me like probably 20 minutes to take them down.
Yeah, so. I'm kidding. Oh, and Dwayne says that the mods are blue.
Ah,
okay, all right. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I was talking more about McGregor. I had put the Ireland flag up for McGregor on the house. He's one of my favorite fighters.
Well, the thing is with me, I don't really follow UFC. I'm not really a diehard fan. I mean, I'm one of those guys that'll, I'll watch it if it's on, but I don't follow it religiously. But even I was shocked that McGregor got clobbered in the second round like he did. I will say this though, it won my brother like $160 because he put a bet on it.
Nice. Yeah, no, McGregor's one of those guys that gets under everybody's skin. So, interesting. Yeah, he gets under everybody's skin. So people really are gunning for him when it comes time for a fight. So,
yeah, no, Bob, definitely that'd be awesome if we were able to do that. I wouldn't mind meeting you, of course.
Yeah, I'm filming in the family room today because the room that I used to have all my Notre Dame stuff in is no more. So I got nothing up in that. I have stuff in the room, but none of my stuff. So
whose stuff is it?
The baby that's on the way stuff. So
you guys haven't heard that yet, have you? Our own Ben here is going to be a father.
Yep, first one.
Give him a round of applause from your neck of the woods, guys. Congratulations, Ben. I'm happy for you. But of course, I've told you that a million times already, but this is like the first time we've actually discussed it, here.
What?
But anyway, not to just jump topics here. We actually have a guest. We have a guest on the way. So we're trying to be polite and wait for him, but from what Ben was telling me, he might be having issues with his equipment. So we'll just have to wait and see. But
Yeah.
So right now we got Green Bay about to big defensive play by Tampa Bay. So it's going to be 3rd and goal coming up from looks like the Tampa Bay 6. Tampa Bay is up 14-7.
Oh, you must be a little bit ahead of me because it just became 3rd down on my end.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't care either way. I have no legit vested interest in this. So,
well, I was just gonna say, being a Bears fan, I like that. So I hope that continues to be the case here in this game. So I'm gonna see what happens on 3rd down here before I get back to talking.
Yeah, so it's we're kind of on opposite end of the spectrum today when it comes to games. Nightmare matchup for a Dolphins fan would be Tampa Bay and Buffalo. So
Bob says, I'm getting in the habit of using the scroll feature here, or the show feature, whatever you want to call it. I'm not that scary. Bob says, I'm not that scary, Sean, and I'll be looking forward to it. Congrats, Ben. Our firstborn was in 1976 before you or Sean were born. That was specifically 10 years before I was born.
Yep.
All right, so I think you should be caught up, Ben. Green Bay has to settle for the field goal, so a big defensive win for Tampa Bay.
Yep.
So anyway, I guess we can go ahead and start discussing a few things in the news about Notre Dame and all that. So, of course, as everybody knows, and I don't see why this is such a big thing, because it's really not that big a deal as what people are making it out to be. But Notre Dame got put on 1-year probation for some quote unquote recruiting violations. Very, very minor shit, in my opinion.
Yeah. So.
Oh no! A big tragedy. Brian Kelly accidentally met with a kid that was on Notre Dame's campus, and a $5,000 fine. Whoop-de freaking do.
Yeah. Well, the thing that irritates me is it's like a blackout period, I think is what they call it. That's crap. It's not like they kid to a strip club. It's not like they gave him money into the table. It's not like, you're meeting with a kid during a quote unquote black period or blackout period or whatever you want to call it. I mean, that's baloney. That shouldn't even be. If a kid wants to meet in a snowstorm, you should be able to meet with him in a snowstorm. If he wants to meet on a Friday in the summertime, then you should be able to meet with him. I mean, so. And I would say that about anybody that would have Alabama, Florida State, Southern Cal, if somebody got hit with that stupid blackout period crap, then I would say the same thing. It's not just because Notre Dame did it.
Yeah. No, Dwayne. There's no postseason bowl ban. All that happened was a $5,000 fine, and I'm actually checking on it right now. But I believe Notre Dame gets one less in-house visit.
Yeah.
But all it was an assistant. I think it was. Yeah, and a former assistant coach had impermissible off-campus recruiting contact with a high school player in 2019.
A year ago. I mean, It normally takes a year to find out stuff because of investigations and things behind the scenes and all that. So I mean that makes sense. But yeah, it's baloney. I mean, and I mean, if you pay attention to high school sports, they got that kind of stuff in place too, where schools can't talk to kids and all that. It's a load. It's an absolute load.
Yeah, it was specifically Todd Light, former Notre Dame safety and defensive backs coach, and he met with linebacker Saviel Smalls of Garfield High School in Seattle. Mm-hmm. And then obviously as we remember, Todd Light was fired last January.
Yeah. So like I said, it's just as I think it was K-Chap. Yeah, K-Chap said NCAA seems like they're nitpicking. Yeah, it's a big nitpick. I mean, it really is, and I think it's more of that Notre Dame's a big school, so they can do that. If it was like Bowling Green or something, I don't think they would even be saying anything. They know they can get their money because it's a $5,000 fine Notre Dame would pay no problem, and whatever. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess I might have been wrong about that. See, because I remember hearing that it was Brian Kelly who got his picture taken with this kid, but I guess that didn't happen. And Bob Walker here says Kelly initially said he wouldn't have his photo taken with a high school athlete whom the Irish were not recruiting, but later agreed to the photo. I've wondered who the coach was. Well, maybe he did. I don't know.
There you go. Look at the K-Chap comment.
Yeah, I heard the head coach of the high school was reporting nitpicky stuff because he wanted the kid to go to Washington. Oh, that figures.
Yeah, and one of the guys on the NCAA board or whatever for all this did graduate from the University of Washington. So,
you kidding me? This is unbelievable. Okay.
Most of the board from like the Pac-12. So that's probably everything you need to know right there.
Yeah, stop the freaking presses. The kid talked to a coach. Yeah, he coach didn't give him money, didn't this what you might as well think we were watching the movie Blue Chips here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Good Lord. So there was that in the news. Oh. Well, darn, Bob. Why you turn your back on us, man? That's not cool. Promoting other people's stuff here. We thought you had our back, man. What the hell? No, just kidding. Of course, I understand. Blue and gold is big. We're not. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, Tampa's on the move here. 3:41 before halftime. So let's talk about some move here.
Okay, I'm back. So yeah, talking about promoting channels. I'd run a highlight channel for y'all that don't know, and I put it in the description if y'all want to check it out. I don't just do one team. There you go. I try to focus on everybody. I try to focus on just amazing football in general. So if you like football in general and not just one said team, that's the channel for you. Glad that Brian says he thinks he has everything situated over here, so we'd love to have him on.
Yep, he's here. Let me get him popped up.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going, dude? Nice to have you.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I turn my phone down.
Yeah, I can hear myself on echo, and it's annoying the hell out of me.
My bad. Good now?
Well, I was trying to make a joke. Even hearing myself talk annoys me.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know the feeling.
No, Bob, we were just kidding, dude. We were just kidding. He says, Bob says, I've got your back, guys, but Blue and Gold posts nearly daily with recruiting news in particular. We know that. We just like to screw with you, Bob.
Yeah, recruiting news is always a good thing.
So, cold as Brian, your first time here on the show. What's something that you would like to talk about or add to the discussion?
Well, I know you just mentioned recruiting, and recruiting, I know it's a big part of, like how high your team can get in terms of, reaching that peak of a national title. But I really try not to get too stressed about recruiting because, like over the years, especially, we've had a few guys who they commit and, they're young kids and they have all this potential, but then, they could always decommit or, spend one semester on campus and, move on. So as much as it's nice to, get excited about, these new guys that you potentially have coming in, like I said, I try not to put too much weight into it, but it is, something interesting to follow nonetheless.
Right. I mean, even before Ben and I started doing the show here, I used to say all the time that I don't yeah, it's great that we have these recruits' attention, but until they sign on that dotted line, it doesn't mean squat. So I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him get a little bit of established with the team before you go crazy over him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's no legit metric for any of this. I mean, recruiting coming into college and then even going from college, there's no metric saying a guy's going to be perfect or the best ever. You see come into some situation and they think they'll dominate or be dominant, and then they're not. So, yeah, I agree.
Oh, my bad. No, yeah, it's something fun and interesting to follow because some of these guys you first hear about them when they're like 16, and then it's just funny to see them actually show up on campus and produce. But like I said, I try not to let it take too much of my mind up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's cool seeing the growth. I mean,
yeah.
I work at a high school, and I'm directly involved with athletics and all that. And I mean, you see guys that first come on and they're kind of small and nervous about everything, and then they become studs and move on to some school and all that. It's really cool.
Definitely.
All right, so K-Chaps asks us, how do you guys like Tyson Ford? He is the defensive end recruit we just picked up out of your original turf, St. Louis.
St. Louis produces good football players, man.
Yes, they do. Myself, I mean, I haven't seen much of the kid, but he has the size, he has the speed, and we'll just have to wait and see how that transitions over to the the collegiate level.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what school he's from. Let's see. Yeah, I've never heard of the high school. So I don't know. John Burroughs. Never heard of it. So interesting. Yeah, I mean, his size, he looks like a monster, kind of like Michael Mayer. So that's always nice to have some kid that's NCAA size, if you will. So.
Well, that's something that we're definitely going to need to replace along with the offensive line is that edge rushing. And we've been very spoiled with that over the past few years. So if this kid can get it going, I love it. But,
yeah, definitely.
But it goes back to what we were saying. Got to get him to campus first. Got to get him on the team.
Yeah. And then you got to get playing time too, not with a name. I mean, we've seen that with the most recent situation, Jordan Johnson. I mean, you got the name, you're playing for a big name program in high school and all that, but if you ain't playing on the field, then there's not much to you.
Someone who I'm thinking of is a Jafar Armstrong. A guy like him. He came up big. I think that was a redshirt freshman year. The Michigan game, obviously, and he sort of came out of nowhere, had a really nice performance, and then really, I don't think he ever matched that production for the rest. Like the whole time he was here, which is crazy to think about.
Well, I know that sounds like it's a bad thing for him, but that really says a lot about Brian Kelly's recruiting. That he's able to get all these talented guys, and then the ones that he already has, they end up that far down on the depth chart. So that's actually not really a bad thing when you look at the overall picture of it.
Right.
But yeah, does it suck to lose Jafar? Absolutely. But interestingly enough, he's in Ben and I's neck of the woods, the University of Illinois.
Oh, really? Nice, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To see what Illinois did next couple of years.
Team Pinecones wants to ask you a question, Brian.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Let's see.
And when Pinecone asks his question, I'm going to check out this play. Oh, come on, Tampa. All right, I tell you what. While we're waiting for Pinecone's question here. So Ben, big moment, and Brian, I'm glad you're a part of this too. For the AFC Championship game later this evening.
Yep.
All right.
Hooligans. That's a block.
Oh boy.
All right, get on to the bet. Let's go.
So we got the Bills and the Chiefs. Ben's already stated that he is not going to cheer for a division rival, being a Miami fan. So Ben, I've got a bet for you. Obviously, I'm taking the Bills. You're taking the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
If the Bills win and get to the Super Bowl, at the start of next week's show, you have to get on here and publicly read the Man from Nantucket poem.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. See how it is. So for all of you that don't know, Sean used to have another channel. And I mean, he still has it, but he used to do Notre Dame preview and recap. And years ago, he made a bet with a certain fan. I think his name was Seminole PJ. Was that his name?
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I think that was it.
Sean bet this kid, and I don't remember exactly what Sean bet the kid, but the kid betted Sean that Sean would have to dress up like a Native American if
Christ.
Florida State beat Notre Dame. And sure enough, unfortunately, Florida State did beat Notre Dame. So there is a video out there of Sean dressed up like an Indian.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And
It was the 2011 Champ Sports Bowl. We lost to Florida State, and yeah, I told that guy that I would dress up like a Seminole Indian and do the recap dressed as that if we lost. And
Oh wow.
yep.
but I was a good sport about it. I made it funny.
Yeah. So to continue that tradition, you're going to have to dress up like a Native American Indian or a chief, if you will, if the Chiefs win. So there you go.
All right.
And the playing today. So there you go.
All right. Okay. So that's the bet then. If the Bills win, you read the Man from Nantucket poem, and the version that I gave you. There's several versions of it.
Oh no. Okay.
You have to read that version. And if if the Chiefs win, I'll dress like an Indian next week.
Yep. Okay. So Bob asked, are high schools in the area or my area playing football this spring? Yes. High schools are playing football in the spring. I do believe, and I didn't flag down the coach this week because of it was really only a 2-day work week for teachers this week. But they're doing conference-only games, as far as I know. So there would be no like actual playoffs and state championship here. If you haven't heard, though, on the Illinois front, there is rumblings, and I believe it, that major cities such as Chicago and Springfield will be fully opened by March. So that should let you know everything you need to know about what's going on.
Yeah, I just saw the announcement this morning too that Illinois football is for sure a go, but they haven't announced anything yet as far as schedules and if there's going to actually be like a state playoff.
Yeah, I think metrics will have to play in their favor for all that. So we'll see. And if they're going to base the metric off Chicago, then we might be stuck with just conference because Chicago's been the epicenter here in Illinois for COVID. So
Are they going to try and like squeeze the whole season into like a 2-month time frame or something like that? Like work around the other sports? Is that what the plan is?
The quote unquote training camp, if you want to call it that, that's going to start in February, and then they're supposed to start playing games on March 10th.
yeah,
Oh wow.
according to IHSA.
And I don't know for sure yet, but they might be doing a conference-only schedule.
Yeah,
Maybe
So
one
far,
other
that's-
conference.
yeah, just the conference, and then I don't know if they're going to actually officially do playoffs. So, but I mean, like here we only play, I think, 9 games as a regular season. It's not
Yeah.
like a 12 or 14 game season.
Yeah. So, but of course, that I think it was the Chicago Tribune. The Chicago Tribune I saw where they said that they'll come out with more news. I think on Wednesday. So we'll just have to wait and see how it's going to go.
Whole situation is bizarre. Like the whole like rescheduling thing, it's crazy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I'm not have to like be one of the people who have to reconfigure all the sports schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be a mess.
Yeah.
They should have just done it when they had the chance, not wait, this freaking long. But I get it. You have to be safe, and you got to proceed with caution and all that. So I get that.
Yep.
And there was something else we were going to talk about. Ben, what was that? We were talking about.
Now. That's a good question. I don't remember what we were going to talk about.
Wasn't something about like states opening back up or something?
Well,
like
yeah,
that?
like Chicago area is going to be open by March. So I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for if you're a football fan, then we'll have in-person games and all that.
So I guess to go off of that, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think with Chicago opening back up that we will see Notre Dame back to an independent schedule if other states and so on proceed, or do you guys think we could end up back in the ACC for another year?
I think they'll probably go ahead and go with the schedule that they've had set up prior to all this mess going on, because the whole thing really didn't make too much sense, because I guess the conference thing was to keep people geographically closer, maybe. I guess that was the reasoning, right? But then we still have Florida State coming to South Bend, and that's allowed, but we couldn't, like, Notre Dame couldn't play like Purdue or something like that. The whole situation was just a little, I know it's like supposed to make sense, but it really doesn't make too much sense. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, and New York even said, Cuomo of New York said that they need to open their economy back up. They're suffering too bad and all that. So, I mean, and that's a fact. That's not a political statement. So, I mean, if major cities like New York City and Chicago are opening up, then I don't see littler areas where some of these teams are located. I mean, heck, Alabama's in Tuscaloosa. They're not even in a major city. So, I don't know why they're opening up these.
Oh, whoa! I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just watching the game right now. Holy shit!
So I don't know. We'll see.
Oh yeah!
Wow, dude! Like giving up a touchdown like that is backbreaking. Oh my god!
Yeah, get screwed, Green Bay.
That sucks.
Not for me, it doesn't. I hate Green Bay, so to hell with them.
Yeah, right. How do you? Oh, wow.
Oh, but it's funny. Let's see, where was I going to go with that? But yeah, Brian, when you had mentioned about keeping all the schools set like what you call it, geographically close to one another.
I'm not positive, but I think that was the reason behind it, right? Just generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I was actually, when I was at the casino last night, I was talking with my friends and my brother about this. And what's funny is, and this is this is not about, the COVID situation or anything like that. This is just going back to the same kind of talk that as Notre Dame fans, we've heard for a long, long time. And that was, oh, you guys need to just join a conference, this and that. I've actually read a few stupid comments that Ben and I have gotten on previous videos this past week. And it's funny, on one of the TVs last night was this I forget what channel it was, but it was like talking about the history of Notre Dame. And the funny thing is, in this documentary, they were talking about the days of Rockne and, back in the 20s and 30s. And, to all the people, all I can say is to all the people who say that, oh, we need to join a conference, that's, it's so easy for you guys, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's two different things I can say about this. For starters, we saw this past season, and I'm not trying to get arrogant here, but joining a conference actually makes our schedule easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I mean, let's think about this. If we were in the ACC as full-time members, it'd basically be just us, Clemson, and occasionally Miami and North Carolina in there. But it'd be primarily us and Clemson every year. And I really don't. You really want Notre Dame to be in a conference? No. But here's the other reason why. If we're in a conference, and I've said this before, and let's stick with the ACC. We would then have access to all these schools, these high schools that usually only are basically ACC exclusive, if that makes any sense, for lack of a better term. Well, now we'd have access to all those players, and maybe have a chance to poach that that one 3-star who normally would be going to Florida State or NC State or Clemson or wherever. We'd have a chance to snatch that kid, and he could be the difference maker for us.
Yeah.
But also, the other thing that I wanted to point out is, to all the people who want us in the conference so bad, don't blame us. Blame the Big Ten.
Twice.
Yeah. Well, the second time we turned them down.
Right.
But the first time was back in the 20s and 30s. We tried to join the Big Ten. And it was, of course, what's his face from Michigan.
Oh, Schembechler.
People. No. This is back in the 20s and 30s. Forth, I think his name was.
Yeah.
They said no to us. They said no to us because they were, well, I'm just going by with what this documentary said, because they were anti-Catholic.
Yeah, Michigan.
Oh my God.
It was Yost. Yost was one of the also big people to push that. But yeah, and it's you burn that bridge and that's what happens. So I mean, you get Rutgers and Maryland instead of Notre Dame in the Big Ten. So, and the main thing, if Notre Dame stays independent, they will have to be unbeaten to make the playoffs. I think Ohio State getting in the playoffs with only 6 victories or 7 victories, whatever it was, I think that changed that whole dynamic now. You're going to give them that easy of a pass, then the dynamic has changed.
Yeah, I mean, if for Ohio State, if they happen to have got in, who would you have preferred to take that, whatever the third spot? Who do you think was more deserving this year?
I'd say the more deserving would have been A&M.
Think so? Yeah.
Because I mean, of all the teams, the only team that had played pretty well except for Alabama was A&M, and they beat Florida, who got into the Cotton Bowl, I think, against Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Florida took Alabama down to the wire.
Actually, I think Florida got the Orange Bowl.
I think it was Cotton Bowl.
It might have been.
Because they played Oklahoma in that bowl game. But anyway.
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was Cotton.
Couldn't tell you. It was off my head.
If you're going by the 2 best SEC teams, the 2 best SEC teams didn't even play in the championship. That's just me. So, and look at the egg Florida laid against Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm looking up something real quick here, if I can find it.
See, I was kind of torn because I know the whole 6-7 wins thing's a pretty bad look, but this whole season was just a total mess from start to finish. Nobody was on the same page, none of the conferences, and it was just a total, just a total disaster. But we got through it, and it was pretty entertaining, I guess.
Well, okay. Here's a comment that I was trying to find for you guys from our recap of the Rose Bowl, and it's a dude that calls himself Robin Joe 1. He leaves a comment saying, "ND used to have a crazy hard schedule which makes you battle tough for the playoffs. Since the USC's and Michigans of the world suck, you need to change up your traditional schedule. The ACC really sucked, so that didn't help." And well, I go on to tell this guy, well, go look at the future schedules that we have coming up. I mean, who do you see there? Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
Texas A&M.
Clemson a few more times, yeah.
Yep, Clemson a few more times. Maybe this isn't saying much, but Cal, they're on the future schedule. We have Alabama coming up in the not too distant future. Who else is there? Wisconsin twice because we have to make up the one in Lambeau.
Yeah. The thing is, people don't take into account that Notre Dame travels more than just about everybody else in the NCAA. I mean, I remember, I think it was the 2018 season when Notre Dame went to the playoffs against Clemson. Notre Dame played in San Diego. They played in Chicago. They played in southern Los Angeles. And then they played, I think it was in Boston. No, not Boston.
New York. Yankee Stadium.
Somewhere else. Okay. Name me another team that plays in all those major cities. Name me one of them. Other than like Hawaii, who travels more than Notre Dame, like distance because they're coming from Ireland. But even then, so I mean, and then if you want to talk about lame opponents, okay, well, Notre Dame played Georgia. I do believe that was the year that Georgia went to the national title against Alabama.
The first time, yeah.
So, and that was a 3-point loss or a 1-point loss or whatever it was. It was less than a touchdown.
Yeah, it was 1 point.
We've played Clemson multiple times. We've played Florida State multiple times when they were ranked. We played Miami when they were ranked. I mean, what more do you want? I mean, we play as close to an SEC schedule as you can play without being in the SEC.
Well, and this is what this guy – this is actually – it's funny you mentioned that, Ben, because this is what this guy said to that. He goes, the SEC wins most of the titles because they go through murder row on half their games. ND can't schedule 1 or 2 tough games a season if they want to win at all. Frankly, I think Clemson is suffering because FSU and Miami are down. They need those hard games during the season to be able to compete with the SEC champions who were battle-hardened through the season. Sometimes it hurts with the excess of – okay, well, that's excess. You get the point.
Right.
Excessive. I hate it when I can't talk. I'm like, okay, well, what did I just tell that guy? We try to schedule all these hard games, but believe it or not, a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of teams only want a one and done, and that's it. They don't want to do a home and home.
Right.
That happens a lot more than you think.
And I know it's like kind of crazy to think about, but the Alabama games, that's a home and home too, I'm pretty sure. And those aren't like 7 or 8 years down the road. So, like, I mean, who knows if they probably will be, but who knows like what kind of program they'll be, 7 or 8 years from now.
Yeah, and you actually bring up a good point there, Brian, because our schedules, at least the fully completed ones, I should say, because there's still games like 6-7 years from now that still have 3 spots to fill. But for the most of the time, Notre Dame full schedules are set in stone like at least 5-6 years.
Right.
So you can't help it if a team who is good in that first year all of a sudden is in the middle of a down period, by the time you start playing them 6-7 years down the road.
Right. I mean, the only thing that we've seen in the last decade that has been year in and year out really good is Alabama. I mean, we've had other champions. We've had LSU as a champion. We've had Auburn as a champion. We've had Florida State as a champion. But they weren't completely as good as Alabama. So what Alabama's doing is unheard of and very, very rare. So you can schedule like an LSU that's the national championship, and then 5 years down the line you play them, and it looks like it's going to be a fantastic matchup, and then they're in a down period. Well, that's not Notre Dame.
I'm not mistaken, but I think Georgia, that game was good. That series was scheduled in 2014, and they were considered a pretty good program back then, but they weren't quite at the level that they had been the last couple of years too. So you can see how it can go either way as well.
Yeah. There's going to be fluctuation in every program, and even teams from the SEC they're not off limits to that. I mean. Hell, Dwayne, you know this very well. Look at Alabama, before Saban was there. They were nowhere near what they are now. I mean, they were, because I know I think it was under, who was it? Was it Mike Shula who was coaching there at circa 2005, 2006?
And they were really bad back then. Yeah, they were
yeah.
Yeah.
And granted, they had some probation that didn't help either. I think like 5 years of probation for various issues. But so yeah, my point is it just goes to show that even the big name teams are going to have their times where they're not doing so hot. But it also shows with Nick Saban in Alabama today that you can turn around from that. So it's not that's out of your control when you schedule these teams. I mean, I remember when we scheduled who was it? When we scheduled Miami in advance for the Shamrock Series game in Chicago back in 2012, I think that was, like 3 years prior. I could be wrong on that, but Miami was pretty hot, and then come 2012, they weren't as hot as they once were.
Yep.
So that's just another example. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna look up some of our future schedules and see exactly what for sure we have going on here.
Yeah, please do. I know, no matter how good they are, or where they are a few years down the line, I'm really looking forward to playing at what's it called, Texas A&M. I think they have a really cool stadium, probably one of my favorites in the country.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. The 12th man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know Ohio State for sure, Alabama for sure, Wisconsin for sure thing because of COVID. It just got pushed back a year. But I don't know who else for sure.
Okay, so we'll start with this upcoming season. So we're at Florida State, then Toledo, Purdue at home, Wisconsin at Soldier Field, Cincinnati at home, at Virginia Tech, USC, North Carolina, Navy, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Stanford. So there's some pretty well, I'm not gonna say that's the most brutal schedule in the world, but there's some very solid opponents on there. But looking at 2022, that's when Ohio. Yeah. That's when we play at Ohio State. California's on the schedule then, and then then we host Clemson again, and the rest, well, it doesn't exactly look all that sexy. And plus, there's still a slot to fill in that season too. But we got Syracuse, Boston College, still USC and whatnot, but Marshall's on the schedule, UNLV, which I'm sorry, UNLV sucks to high heaven.
Mm-hmm.
But then you look at 2023, Ohio State's on there again. We're at Clemson.
Oh,
yeah.
So basically, just flip those two.
Oh, I didn't know they played both of them again the next season. Yeah. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, my God.
It's funny when people start saying things like that. Like you don't play anybody and all that. And the SEC's murder row. I mean, what? Alabama played Arkansas, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I mean, I'll give you LSU. I'll give you, Florida for the most part, and Georgia's right now a real good team program-wise. South Carolina's been good in the past, but then bad. So, I mean, you got a couple teams in your conference that are good, but
Bob Holt, you want to get on here and talk about it?
Sean's always crying about something. Well,
yeah. Oh my God.
There's a link.
But yeah, I mean, there's always some teams in every conference that are okay or below okay, and then there are some very high-powered teams. I mean, the ACC, it's now Clemson. It was Florida State and Miami. UNC is replacing the Florida State and Miami situation. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, Texas A&M, they make their first appearance on the schedule in 2024. And then that year we also have, which I might go to this one just because it's up the road from me, Northern Illinois.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about actually, because that's in Northern Illinois, isn't it?
No, it's at South Bend.
Oh, is it?
I wish it played in Northern Illinois. Yeah.
I would have loved to have gone up to DeKalb for that. Definitely be easy to get a ticket, probably.
I was thinking you played in their stadium, and that would be a lot of fun to go to.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know why I'm down with that. I don't get that. I have no idea because I'm using my normal equipment, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
well, I think you're pretty loud. I mean, I can hear you clearly.
But
Well, let's see how the
So-
Packers can respond here.
But yeah, so I mean, a lot of those schedules too. And actually, here's the. I'll give the link for it if anybody wants to see it. A lot of these aren't complete either because there's only like some that only had like 8 games, some that only had 9, and so on. So we still have to fill the schedule yet.
yeah, well, teams got to work out their budget too. I mean, if it's anything like it is where I work and stuff. I mean, your budget is not the same every year. So, I mean, a year that you think, oh yeah, well, we could definitely travel to this place and that place. Then the next year you overwent your budget by X amount of dollars, and you go, well, I don't know if we're going to be able to travel there. So for smaller teams, when I say smaller teams, I mean teams that are not Alabama, Notre Dame, Southern Cal. They really have to keep an eye on their budget, so that can change the schedule.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, Bob Holt and Gary Wilson saying the same thing. Yeah, Sean's always big mad. Well, people like you guys, it'd be hard not to be angry.
Well, we defend our team. I mean, if you're going to take shots, we're going to fire shots right back. So,
I mean, like I said, you guys see on the screen. There's the link to this to the. We'll have you on. So grow a pair and come on.
it might have been tough because their stadium is kind of small. Yeah, but I mean, really travel to their stadium. So I mean, that's where you make the money is from the people that aren't originally from that neck of the woods that want to come see a game.
Well, actually, and actually, right now, that's where the state of Illinois is playing all the state title games right now. Or at least they were. Yep. It was down at They did play it at Champaign a few times. They did play it at I don't know, Ben. Did they ever play it at Illinois State?
Not that I'm maybe like local areas, like El Paso areas come to play in Illinois State. Hudson area would play there and stuff. I think, but no, not anything where it would be like major.
Okay, because I know that it was I think Southern Illinois hosted it one year. So
yeah, but who is it? Let's see. Shannon MK82. If you want to click on that one. Don't want to sound ignorant, but are we still in the ACC? Didn't know if it was a one-season deal. I do believe it was a one-season deal. It was the ACC trying to help Notre Dame out, and I think it was kind of their way of wooing Notre Dame and trying to get them to be a full-fledged football member. But the schedule as of now is a full independent schedule for next season.
But hey, Bob Holt, there it is in the comment section. Click on the link. Come on the show. Show yourself.
But yeah. So I mean, there are pros and cons with joining the ACC. I mean, it is like Sean said, the recruiting aspect, but then also you're locked into that region as opposed to traveling like Notre Dame historically has. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know it might be an unpopular opinion, but I didn't think this one season was the worst thing in the world. I know, the whole season was kind of weird, but we can say, we can see what it pretty much would have been like. I mean, I wonder, like, my thing was, I wonder, like, if they would probably keep USC as a permanent opponent. But then I wonder what would happen with like Navy and Stanford. They'd probably get the kibosh. Yes, me.
Yeah, I mean, if everything went to the ACC schedule, then you'd have 2, maybe 3 games that would be quote unquote out of conference. You could schedule a Navy, a Southern Cal, a Stanford, and you'd have to figure out who's the most important to schedule. But I mean, People forget the ACC has a couple of Notre Dame's quote-unquote rivals. I mean, Florida State's a rival, Miami's a rival, Georgia Tech. I mean, so you would see those teams more than you normally would, but I mean, it would still be a lot of fun. And this year, not going to lie, I mean, it's cool seeing all that.
Yeah, we just saw that K Chaps. Tampa is about to be up 28-10.
Yeah, I don't know about it.
They are, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, Dwayne says get some new faces in here. LOL. Yeah, I know, Dwayne. I wish some of these retards would show up.
Oof.
Yeah,
I mean, so the link is right there in the comment section. But yeah, K Chaps. When you said Bob, if you don't like it, no one is keeping you here. Well, I know who these people are, or possibly this person is K Chaps. So if it is who I think it is, he's a pussy. Isn't that right, Walter? I think Walter's parents did him a great injustice because that guy's screwed up.
So
sorry, guys, but
let me ask you this, Sean.
Happens.
Sure.
What do you think about the whole Harbaugh situation in Michigan? I mean, we'll be seeing them sooner rather than later. So
you mean like with him getting re-signed to a new contract?
And same with Brian. What do you all think about that?
It's their problem, not ours. But
I mean,
after the last meeting, I can't really say too much because they did stick it to us pretty well, and we got a rebound from that.
Yeah, we're not in any position to talk shit on them, really.
No, I'm with you, Brian. I can't. There's the right times when you can, talk some shit, but after that, in 2019, there's really not a lot of room to. But
that was brutal. Oh my god.
It's interesting that they go with a guy that he's had some good ups, but he's also had some major downs, and I think that victory over Notre Dame was really one of his only victories over a rival team. So it was interesting to see a re-signing.
Yeah. I mean, well, look at how Brian Kelly played out a few years ago. It was like, his 7th year, went 4-8. Like, a lot of people calling for his job, but then look what happened since then. I mean, we haven't gotten all the way, which is where, he states, the team's goal is, win a national championship. We haven't made it there yet, but we really, besides that, haven't much more, room to improve.
I mean, Harbaugh is one of those coaches that, to me, he's a really high-profile coach that hasn't gotten a playoff appearance yet. I mean, we've seen Saban in the playoffs. We've seen Urban Meyer in the playoffs. Now he's with Jacksonville. We've seen Brian Kelly in the playoffs, and we've, of course, seen Dabo. So
I mean, even Michigan State had that one friggin' playoff appearance.
Right.
Christ. I mean, they beat a
rival. Michigan State, Notre Dame, and Ohio State all played in a playoff game. So, it's not taking a shot. It's more just, okay, to me, if you want to be a winning program and you want to win, yeah, you can beat Notre Dame, but is that where you're going to hold yourself, tradition-wise? You're going to say, oh, we beat Notre Dame this year, but we didn't do anything else.
Yeah, they got to beat Ohio State. That's it.
And I mean, that's always going to be historically. I mean, whoever basically wins between Michigan and Ohio State tends to go on to bigger and better things in the postseason.
Yeah, at least that's been the trend the past 10, 15 years, give or take.
I mean, if you want to get there, then you have to beat Ohio State. I mean, that's the ultimate. And it's Notre Dame. I mean, we get it on the Notre Dame front because we haven't been able to beat Alabama. We haven't been able to beat Clemson. We beat them one time in the last matchups, and then we haven't beaten Ohio State recently. So we get it. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not a shot.
Bob Walker makes a great point here. He says, I think Harbaugh got a pass for this past season doing crap, but he's got to be on a short leash, just like Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are for the Bears. Yeah, I agree. Let's see. Then K-Chap says, do some people really have nothing better to do than come on streams and troll? These guys don't.
Hey, man, the more attention, the better. I mean, we're still a small channel.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
Negative attention. I don't mind it at all.
That couldn't be a St. Brown.
If they want to be a bunch of losers and do something to keep us relevant, then fine. But then it's funny that none of them have the balls to come on and talk to us. Like, come on, really? If why don't any of you clowns come on here? I gave you the link like 3 times. I'll bring you on the show. But that's the thing. That's where that's what the difference is. That's courage and cowardly right there. That's the difference.
Aaron Rodgers extending the play, going deep, way overthrown.
Oh yeah. See, so Ben, your game coverage is behind mine, and Brian, I'm behind your coverage.
I'm streaming on Fox. I'm streaming on Fox right now, so usually I'm the one that's behind people, but I'm at 10:23 right now. I'm the third.
Yeah, I just now saw the
10:30
incomplete pass.
4 for me.
Oh wow, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, it's funny how, and you know what's really funny about that? I remember when I was even younger, I was at a friend's house, and they were watching some football game, and they had 2 TVs watching the same game in the same house, and one of them was ahead and one of them was behind. And that was like cable. There was no such thing as streaming back then. Like I don't understand why. That's a thing.
Ben, I can speak. I can attest to that because when I watch games with my family over at my father's house, they have, of course, there's the TV in the living room and then the one in the kitchen. And so it's not like they're side by side. So it's a little different. But when my dad or my brothers have to go out to have a cigarette, because I don't smoke. But that's the same way with the TVs that are with those 2 TVs. Is one will be like 30 seconds ahead of the other.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. But
because like the Irish will score a touchdown or something, they'll start cheering. I'll be watching in the living room. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I'm like, oh, thanks guys, thanks for spoiling it for me.
Have you guys ever had to like miss a game, like not being able to like sit down and watch it, but then try and like record it and like not spoil it and watch it later?
Yes,
I've tried that a couple of times, and
it's hard.
Yeah.
With like social media and stuff.
It's not. Yeah, it's not for me.
Really, really hard.
Well, myself personally, I've never tried to record a game because, like you said, like Ben said, I'm just going to hear it from somebody anyway. But the closest we came was Ben's wedding.
Yeah.
Because I met Ben in person at his wedding because he asked me to be a groomsman.
Yeah, we had like quote unquote met before that, but yeah, like
it just all telephone and Skype.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the day. It was the day when Notre Dame actually was Ian Book's first start against North Carolina, and so we're trying. So of course we don't do anything during the ceremony, but like during like pictures and stuff, we're on our phones looking at watching the game coverage and trying to see what's going on, and so. But that's the closest I've came to it.
Well, and the funny part is, it wasn't just me and Sean that were Notre Dame fans. There were 2 other people in the bridal party and stuff that were too. One of my wife's bridesmaids, like everybody in her family, has graduated from the University of Notre Dame.
Oh wow, okay.
And then one of my other groomsmen is a big Notre Dame fan. So yeah, there was like 4 of us, out of I think the 12. We're trying to watch the game and stuff. So. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I had one wedding I had to go to. It was my cousin's in New Jersey, like 2018, and it was the Vanderbilt game. They only played Vanderbilt once, and so I'm literally sitting in the back of the church during the ceremony and watching the game on my phone. Like I had one of those sets up going, and
I
It
like
was
it.
the play. You guys probably remember. I don't know. Vanderbilt was about to score, and then I think it was like Rosie Gilman made that strip like right on the goal line,
Yeah, I remember that.
and I just
Yeah.
remember being like, and like people like looking back at me, and it was like, oh, sorry. But
It's not-
yeah,
It's about the bride and groom, not you.
right. Honestly,
That's awesome. I've never done that. I've never had a game on during a wedding or something like that. But there's always a first time for everything. I'm sure I'm going to have one eventually.
yeah. They just gotta stop being selfish and have their weddings on bye weeks,
Right.
or off season. Tell them to think of someone else.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I know it's like the selfishness of those people. How dare they?
Yep.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, I all I know is I'm really liking what's going on up in Green Bay right now, and I hope it's stay. I hope that turns out to be the case. But I'll like it even better if Buffalo wins tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I'm viewing it as I don't have a horse in either race here, but I usually just root for the underdog. A team that like hasn't been there before or recently. Before last year, the Chiefs, hadn't won anything. But yeah, I'm going with the Bills. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if the Dolphins weren't like a direct rival of the Bills, then I mean, I'd be rooting for them big time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, it's like you can't, and myself personally, you can't help but see that 30 for 30 documentary. The Four Falls of Buffalo.
Yeah,
can't see that and not feel awful.
Well, and the interesting thing is if, and I think I brought this up on another stream, if Buffalo wins the Super Bowl, there will be two divisions in the NFL that has every team having at least one Super Bowl, and it will be both of the East. It'd be the NFC and then the AFC East. So I think that would actually be kind of cool. So I mean, it's not like I'm heartbroken that Buffalo has a chance, but I'd rather not, So
well, it's really gonna depend on how Patrick Mahomes is feeling, because I know he had to leave last week with a concussion. I know he's playing. I know he's been cleared, but do you think he'll still feel any effects from it at all?
I don't know. What I do think is interesting is if Chad Henne gets some playing time, because Dolphin fan Chad Henne was a quarterback at one point for the Dolphins. So
Chad Henne coming in and saving the day. That was classic. I gotta give him that.
So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I got family in Kansas City. They got to see their Chiefs win it for the first time in a long time last year. So, it's not like I hate the Chiefs or anything, but my team's not in the race. So
right. Well, fellas, do you have anything else you guys want to talk about or anything to add? Because I'm kind of out.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna start making dinner in like 10 minutes anyway. So whenever you guys were to sign off, that works for me. I'm ready to, just hang out, do whatever. But it's up to you guys.
Yeah, we're probably gonna take off here pretty soon. And yeah, Brian, I hope you enjoyed your first appearance on here, and it was nice. It's nice to actually meet you and see you for the first time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Sorry, I'm just kind of like watching the game also.
No, you're
talking to you guys. So like,
we're all three of us are doing that. I got the TV on here, and
I'm streaming the game on my computer, so I switch between the stream feed and the game. So
yeah, right.
But I mean, obviously, you've seen us in past streams. When there's not a game going on, we're strictly focused.
Yeah.
Here.
I think is that Terry Godwin on the Buccaneers? I think that's him, right?
Sounds right.
Because he's that Georgia wide receiver that made that like ridiculous
catch
like
yeah
the 2017 game.
Oh hey, actually we can't just leave just yet. We got another guest that wants to come on.
Another guest.
Shannon MK, how you doing, man?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hear you.
All right, man.
Hey, bud.
Hey, welcome aboard. Nice to have you on. How you doing today?
Oh, good. Yeah, I love you guys' show.
Thanks, man. We do the best we can.
Yeah.
We're not.
On the phone right now, and it's a bad video and all that stuff. But yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I mean, and the question I asked earlier, with the was the Irish still? Was it a 1-year contract as far as being in the ACC, or
Well,
are they getting it?
well, we are. We had already been with the ACC for all the other sports except for football and hockey in 2012, and the ACC came along and said that they would help us out with scheduling the game, just to to help us out with this this COVID infested season. But it ended up being a case of where we joined the conference as full members for this one season.
Yeah.
Okay, so how's it looking this year and then in the future?
Well, I think Ben, you were saying that, and actually I saw that. I ended up seeing this too, but slowly but certainly, a lot of bigger places are opening up, like Chicago, for example.
Yeah.
And I think what's going to happen with that is it's going to help. Yeah, it's going to snowball. It's going to help. It's going to lead the way for every big city to start opening up. And I think we'll be back to an independent schedule this season.
Nice.
Yeah, so like they're scheduled to have an independent season as of right now.
Tentatively.
Like in my area in particular, we do have a vaccine that's been out. And they're offering it to like frontline workers and then, all that. So I think everyone's going to pretty much get back on track, and Notre Dame will stay an independent, So we'll see. I'm up to Swarbrick and all the other guys in the ACC to make those decisions. But as of right now, independence is on the horizon again.
So, what do you guys think about all this recruiting stuff going on with the Irish? I mean, my buddy, crap.
That was it was a really trivial violation, wasn't it? Like, it was really stupid.
No, the way the media is making it out is, and I said this earlier in the stream, you would think that we were watching the movie Blue Chips and that they were paying guys and giving them cars and giving their parents jobs and stuff like that. No, this is just all that happened was a coach met a kid and took a picture with him.
Yeah, during a quote unquote blackout period or whatever. So it's trivial and it's nitpicking, and I don't even think it could be a blackout period. You want to talk to somebody whenever you want to talk to them, that is what it is. Like I said earlier, if Southern Cal had gotten into it, or Alabama or Clemson, whoever got hit for like a recruit during a blackout period, I'd be saying the same thing. I mean, I think it's silly and trivial and nitpicking. So,
we're too classy of a school to be doing something like that. So,
yeah. You would think so, but we have made mistakes before, but this is a mistake that's really not that big of a deal.
Well, and I mean, if you're thinking with the whole Golson situation, that wasn't really the coaching staff. That was Notre Dame, and Golson made that decision. So I mean, Bob said it once before, you can't control all 55 guys that start for you, let alone everybody else that's in the program. So I mean, if somebody's going to go and be an idiot outside of that it is what it is.
Yeah,
I think more programs than not probably have some sort of sketchy stuff that's going on with recruits, if you ask me.
Well, I'll tell you guys this, and this is probably something I shouldn't joke about, but I'll tell you one thing: if it was Everett Golson who was trying to run from the cop instead of Tommy Rees, he probably would have gotten away. Because do you guys remember? You guys remember that?
Yeah. Well,
I did forget about that. Yeah.
When that happened, my older brother said, "Well, that just goes to show that Tommy Rees can't scramble worth a shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from St. Louis, right?
What's up?
He's from St. Louis, right?
Who is Tommy Rees?
Yes.
I think it's from California. Wait, no, it might be Indiana. Or, I don't know. You're probably right.
Lawson was from. Oh no, Tommy Reese is from L.A.
We
Okay,
got
yeah.
down here in St. Louis, and we had I can't think of the name, the running back from St. Louis last year.
Williams,
What was that?
Tyron Williams.
Yeah, Tyron Williams.
Tyron Williams is from St. Louis, and then Jordan Johnson came from DeSmet, Jesuit.
Yep. And
I'm from
this year
so.
will be his first year, right?
Say again.
This year will be his first year, right? Coming up.
For Johnson or Williams.
Not Williams.
What, Jordan Johnson?
Jordan Johnson, is that who you're talking about, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
Well, he was on the team this year, and he made an appearance in the South Florida game, but he threw a punch and he got kicked out of the game, and we haven't seen him on the field since.
Oh, I don't think I even saw that happen. Is that
Somebody,
true?
We don't really know what's going on with the whole Jordan Johnson situation, but somebody said he was having a hard time with grades. I don't know. And I find that more of a situation than Brian Kelly being angry with him because he decided to throw a punch. So I know grades are a big thing at Notre Dame. So I don't know.
But hopefully we see more of him on the field next year because we were really missing that true number one receiver threat this year.
And one of the big name guys coming
Back.
is Blake something. Let me look his name up.
But yeah, Jordan Johnson, that's like what I was just saying. Like it's nice to, have these, big name recruits coming on paper, but like until, the production actually starts, it's hard for me to like really put any weight in any, rankings or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a kid, I can't think of his name. He's coming out of St. Charles High School, Shamrock, or Shannon. Sorry, not Shamrock, Shannon. He's coming out of St. Charles High School, and he'll be in camp spring ball this upcoming season. And I cannot remember his name.
Hey, Ben, your audio coming out of your. I mean, it's like horrible. Just so you know.
Somebody's been saying, I don't know what's going on with that. That's weird.
I think
It
it was
a little spotty for me too, actually. I thought it was my headphones.
see, someone on here was saying that Ben, your audio was kind of cutting in and out.
Yeah, it's the guy I'm thinking of, Gabriel Rubio, out of St. Louis, the St. Charles area. But yeah, he's actually been helping kind of recruit guys, which is awesome. So,
But I like this. I just saw this comment from Bob. I once was phone checking an Irish game while at a funeral of a non-family member.
Oh God, yep.
That's awesome. I like that too. That's probably better than the wedding.
yeah, he's okay. Yeah, I know exactly the school he's coming from. That's from where I'm from. He's coming from Lutheran High School in St. Peters, Missouri. Gabriel Rubio is, and that's a pretty good school for football. So, yeah, the guys just have to pan out though. We can't have a Djokovic situation on our hands, So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Well, and Bob also makes a good point too. Avery Davis was our only speed receiver last year, and then having Braden Lindsay and Kevin Austin out with injuries, that really hurt too. So that receiving core, along with the offensive line, I think are going to be the two biggest things we need to put back together.
Yeah, I need to take a look at a scholarship chart. So McKinley's not coming back. I'm pretty sure that's confirmed. Do you guys know, like, would Skoranek be coming back maybe?
I don't know if Skoranek's coming back or not.
I thought this was his only year left.
Well, remember they gave everyone a mulligan for this year, pretty much. Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
He came around pretty nicely. Like I was pretty skeptical when he came in, but he had some really nice moments for us.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job for us. It was quite a surprise to me as well. But I tell you, this is what I really love about getting these grad transfers. These guys who are already established and just you don't need to really need to polish them up at all. They're already good to go. And I hope that pans out the same way for Jack Cohn.
Yep, that's right.
So as of the 5th, Ben Skowronek said that he is not coming back to Notre Dame.
Okay.
So that's just another spot to fill. But I was going to start talking about the quarterback situation, but I think we'd be better off saving that for the next episode.
Yep.
And plus, you'd probably want to hear it after either Ben says the Man from Nantucket poem or watch me dressed as an Indian. Now, if anybody's gonna, you want the Macho Man? Oh yeah, I wish I had the Macho Man.
Make it something he actually.
Hold on.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, man. You got to see it again.
I don't hear you. John, it's Sean's thing, not mine. I don't mind either way.
Right.
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ.
It was pretty good, though.
Oh yeah, Sean does a pretty good Macho Man impression.
Let's see here. Got the Packers knocking on the door.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they can.
Empty set for Aaron Rodgers. Oh.
I'm out here in my garage. I got my daughters inside, and I'm cooking dinner and just
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go start dinner in just a second here.
Oh.
Devontae, he just went nasty helmet to helmet.
Me
Here.
and Randy Savage has made an appearance here on the Two Irish Brothers show. Yeah. So Shannon, you're out in your garage cooking dinner, huh? Oh yeah. Macho Man saying he's hungry as well. So what are you cooking up tonight?
Well, when you come into the ring, you better bring. I can't do it as good as you.
Well, you see, Shannon, you kind of gotta use it deep in your chest here and just be calm, man. All right. Now that part right there was kind of like a hippie, not so much the Macho Man. But this is how you gotta go with it, brother. Oh yeah.
When you step in the ring with me.
Well, see, I would have done the Ultimate Warrior for that, for that Halloween episode that we did, but I really didn't want to go through the trouble of putting, on that design and all that face paint and stuff. That would have been kind of a chore.
Right.
But yeah, no, we try to keep things fun on here, and and I was actually, when I got this stuff, I actually wanted to get the the cowboy hat, but they were way too much for that, man. Way too much.
You know what you need to do?
Yeah.
Is go like Goodwill and
You gotta take it off now. Those are Clemson colors.
As far as I'm concerned, these are traditional Macho Man colors from the mid '80s. So
True
that's
that.
I get
Call
a
it tie,
pass.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
but Ben, you were going to say something?
No. Except
Oh.
Bob wants you to know something, and I'm going to smack him.
Okay. If Irish don't make the playoffs next year, do they accept an offer to the Pineapple Bowl?
Oh no, I did like that. I just real quick, I got to get ready to go. I got to finish checking on the stuff, but I did want to say, I seen your guys' logos and stuff like that. Your cast that you put out a couple, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I get so busy with work, but that's a great idea. I mean, they shouldn't just. I mean, they're naming these bowls, but I mean, if they actually came down and said, this is what it's going to be every year. it's something for the kids to get into, and I think that's great, and I mean, you just drew up some designs and stuff like that, but I mean, like you said, if you could have somebody professionally design it up and get some marketing behind it, I think it'd be a great thing. Just like the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, all that.
Yeah, and maybe look, when Ben and I had our good friend Big Vol Daddy on the show several months ago, and we told him the same idea, and he made a good point that these kids and coaches who play in these games, they probably don't care about the prestige and the tradition part of it. They just love the gift baskets that they get, which I can't blame them for that. But as us, the fans, and I know this has probably become nothing more than an annoying shtick on my part talking about all these ideas, but I just think I can't help it when I think something is that good of an idea. Not trying to pat myself on the back here, but I go with it.
Hey,
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't mean to interject here, but Equanimous just dropped a nice, seemingly easy 2-point conversion catch.
Oh, I saw that too.
Christ, dude.
3-point game.
all right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. Keep doing the good shows and stuff like that. Sean, Vance, thanks. My name's Sean too, and
Awesome name.
my wife's name's Shannon. But I appreciate you guys, and I'll try to chime in whenever I can catch it.
Well, Sean, like we always tell you guys, it doesn't matter how big our audience is, we do the best we can for you guys, and we love doing this.
Yep.
Heck yeah! Like I said, I'm on my phone right now, so you gotta forgive me on that. But
All right.
I like watching guys' shows and stuff like that, and you guys are doing a great job.
All right. Thanks, man. We appreciate that very much, and we hope to have you on again sometime.
All right, right on, brother. We'll see you guys.
Take it easy.
See you, bro.
And Brian, that's the same for you as well. Thank you for coming on and showing the interest.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me. I'll have to prepare some material next time, so I not talking out of my ass.
The off season right now, so there's not a lot. I mean, except for a couple of the big name coaches that have signed elsewhere and stuff, there's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So I mean, unless something catastrophic happens, we just kind of shoot the shit and do water cooler type stuff. So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just the only thing that and I'm not trying to get into a negative vibe here, anything like that. But the only thing that sucks is, the clowns that show up. But just what really pisses me off the most is when these guys who've started going after my family. That pisses me off.
Oh yeah, that's a little much.
That's the thing that makes me have regrets about doing this. But I just you guys probably saw me kind of get pissed off and hold earlier, but I don't know if you guys saw that comment, but yeah, that was over the line.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree.
Addressing my mom by her first name and asking if she's done a bad job.
Oh my god, yeah, that's pretty creepy.
I'd like these people say it to my fucking face.
I've had my fair share of run-ins too, so I get it. But yeah, well, we'll see what happens in the Packers game, and we'll see what happens with the Bills and Chiefs game. So,
well, so yeah, on that note, I'm all out of stuff.
Yep. So
Ben, Brian, I got nothing else.
Yeah, same here.
But all I know is hopefully everybody tunes in next week because one of us is going to be very, very funny. That's for sure.
Yeah, on the chopping block.
So
big return for the Bucks here.
Oh yeah, that was a nice one. That was a real nice one. I think maybe our coverage is in sync a little bit more.
That's always good because I hate spoiling it for other people.
My brother did that with Kyron Williams' touchdown run against Clemson.
God.
The South Bend, the one meeting in South Bend, not the ACC title.
Yeah, obviously. Jesus.
But all right, guys. Well, that's it, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, but thanks for having me.
Yep. Take it easy.
All right, bro.
Thanks, Brian.
Take care.
See ya. And on that note, Ben, we got to do our usual exit. Yep, our usual sign off. I'm ND Sean 45.
I'm Irish Benjamin 57.
God bless, good night, and go Irish.
Go Irish.